Alright guys, today we're going to be changing brake pads and rotors on my 2011 Honda Odyssey. And I got the wheel off, as you can see. Alright, so the first thing we do, guys, is we're going to remove the caliper. We're going to do this bolt here, which is, I believe, a 14 millimeter. To do so, we need a 19 millimeter, I believe, wrench on that guy. I'm going to do the same thing on that guy down there. Okay, now that we have those out, we're going to slide the caliper off, and we're going to hang it. I always like to hang it from my front coil spring. And then we are going to remove these two bolts, one right here, and then the other brother right there. And I'm not sure what the millimeter size is on that, but I think it's a 3/4 standard will fit. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take, let's see, where is that guy? Uh-oh, that looks a little stripped. We're going to take this and we're going to whack it with my little mini sledge right there, just to kind of loosen it up so we can hopefully get it off. Okay, it took a few whacks, more than I thought it would, but we finally got that off. Next thing to do is just to get this to come loose. Usually it's kind of seized on there. You've got these two holes here where if you have the right threaded bolt, you can screw that in there to kind of pop it out, but I don't, so I'm going to use the alternative method, which is just to whack it with a hammer. Alright, so we got new rotors here. First thing we want to do, because the surface is really oily, so both sides you want to hit it with brake cleaner, clean all that oil residue off before you install them. Make sure you're in a well ventilated area because this stuff is poisonous. You don't want to be breathing it in. Okay, now we're also going to clean off these, the rust that's on here. Alright, you see this little guy here? It's the only spot on the whole hub that has a threaded hole. And you're going to line that up with this guy here, the only one that has kind of an indented hole. That's where your screw is going to go. So make sure you slide it back on in that orientation. Okay, once it's on there secure, we're going to put this screw back in there. Yep. Alright, and I also, before I put this screw onto here, I like to put a little anti-seize on here, because that thing can really be a bear to get off, and this will prevent that from happening. Crank that down as tight as you can get it by hand. That's good enough. Alright, the next thing we're going to do, okay, we'll go this way. Okay, these guys are going to slide right out, and we're going to wipe them off, and we're going to re-grease them with the grease that is provided by CarQuest. I'm not getting paid for this ad. And we'll just kind of smooth it around like so. And pop the boot back on. There it is. And do the same to the other side. Alright, next thing we're going to do is replace our mounting hardware brackets. One here and one here. I'm going to throw these away and use the new ones. Before we install them, we're going to clean this up with some brake cleaner, and then we're going to lube we're actually going to lube the places where the brake pads touch these, and I'll go over that in a sec. It should snap on like that. Alright, so now we're ready to install the pads. There's going to be one with this little metal doohickey on. I don't know what it's called. So that's going to slide in like this. And so anywhere where this slides is where you want to lube. So obviously this is going to be going back and forth as the piston pushes them together. So we're going to want to lube all this area, the metal parts. Right, for this we use disc brake quiet. Just put a glob. Glob here, glob there. Should be good. If you want to distribute it, you know, you can rub it around. And then make sure, I'm not sure if you can put these in wrong or not, but actually let me see if you can. Curious. Yes, it's not going to really let you put them in upside down, which is good. Thank you, Honda. So there's just one way they're going to go in, and that's going to be the right orientation. Slide in like so, and now we're ready to do the same thing to the other side. Alright, now we're going to slide the pads onto the rotors. And we're going to line up our mounting holes like so. Alright, it's kind of hard to record this, but obviously this is the right positioning. This is going to slide in underneath there, and then we'll go ahead and mount those two bolts. Another note, our van comes with, at least this one does, these little spring clips that keep the pads apart. Should be two of them. Somehow along the way I lost one. My van's been stopping without it, so I'm going to assume it's okay, but I actually might look into getting a replacement from Honda. Did not come with the pack that I got from the auto parts store. Now we got the caliper down. What we're going to do is find the orientation. Here we go. So these two pistons here have to be compressed, and we do that with one of our old brake pads. If I can find one. Probably sitting on them. Anyway, we're going to put a brake pad against here, and then use whatever you got to compress that. So I just remembered I actually gave the auto parts store my old pads, so you can just do it like this. It's no big deal. We're just compressing these guys down. I had to get a little creative because I found that when I compressed one, the other one would actually come out. Alright, now they're both compressed. Take this doohickey off. Okay, we're going to slide this on here like so. Line up the holes just right. I had to compress that so that that would fit over the top, and then just put your bolts in, tighten them up. Okay, that is it. We got those two tightened down. We're gonna put our wheel back on, and you do the other side. We won't film that. It's the same exact, just you know, other side. And then your brakes are gonna be a little bit weak at first, so pump them, and then they should, the piston will kick in, you'll have brakes. And you might want to check your brake fluid also, but I'm not going to do a video on that right now. Thanks for joining, guys, and if this was helpful, please like or subscribe. Thanks for tuning in.